Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your August 2020 mid-month general reading. We're looking at the last 2 weeks of August. Welcome everyone. Thanks for taking the time to tune in today. I hope that you're all safe and well and sane and the world is still crazy. Energies are still fluctuating. It's often unclear what trajectory we're going in. But in the midst of all of that, I hope that you are taking care of yourself and the people around you and doing as well as can be expected these days. Thanks for all of your support, feedback, comments, subscribes, shares, donations. All of it is welcome and all of it is appreciated and all of it helps. Thank you so much. Okay, so this reading is for the water sign of Pisces, Pisces sun, moon, rising, if your Venus is in Pisces, if you're cross-watching for a Piscean. It's all relevant, but of course, general reading, you all have your own life stories, so it'll resonate a little differently for everyone who's watching. Watch all of your signs, sun, moon, rising, if you know them, because they can each bring in additional perspective and insight and food for thought, especially if you're trying to make decisions about something in your life. You want as much information as possible, so watch them all if you can. If any of the readings do resonate with you and you'd like to take a deeper look at something, reach out for personal reading or information, just click on the description link below, that little arrow that pulls down information. You'll see my contact details there, my email address, Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I can usually respond to initial inquiries with more info the same day or the first 24 hours. And as I do readings full-time, scheduling is done in as timely a fashion as possible. Readings are all that I do, so I'm pretty diligent at working with your schedule in mind to get those readings set up as soon as we can. So email me if you're interested. I'd be delighted to work with you. Okay, Pisces, our lovely fish. Let's see what the last half of August has in store for you. I'm currently using the Gilded Tarot, the regular Gilded Tarot, actually. No, I'm using the Gilded Tarot Royale. Sorry. I have so many different decks. I have a few I use specifically for generals, but it's hard to keep track of all of them. Okay, Pisces, we begin with the Three of Wands. Waiting for your ship to come in, feeling pretty positive and optimistic. You've already put some work into something. Yes, followed by the Ace of Wands, that exciting new beginning. Judgment, an opportunity which could profoundly change your course. Followed by the Lovers. Likely this is about a partnership or relationship of some kind. Might not be romantic, although the Lovers often implies that. No lack of heat there. It could be a decision about a relationship or between two people, or it could be a decision that is, about something else in your life, but it's going to have a significant impact. So there's a relationship or partnership pretty central here for you, Pisces. From the bottom of the deck, the overall energy for the last half of August is the Ace of Swords. This feels like a very positive reading so far. Two aces. I always like aces. I always think of them a little bit as the fairy dust, sort of in a reading. Kind of a little extra luck. So the overall energy is a new perspective on something or a new idea. That's what the Ace of Swords is. Swords is governed by the element of air, which governs our mind. Thoughts, words, ideas, perspectives, ideologies, belief systems. Ace is, of course, the number one, the start of something new or a new opportunity entirely. The Ace of Swords comes in and it cuts through. This isn't emotional. It cuts through, emotional filters, and it actually illuminates or even exposes something in a completely different light, like in the light of truth and reality. It's kind of like the light bulb going off over your head, the epiphany, where either you got a great new idea or you're seeing something in a new perspective, like for what it really is. And in that energy of the Ace of Wands, even though sometimes the Ace of Wands can be challenging, because sometimes might be about a situation, relationship or situation that you thought was one thing, and all of a sudden you see it for what it really is, and it might be a bit challenging. It might not be what you want, but it is what it is. So in the energy of the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Swords comes in, and for a moment, it gives you the opportunity, through seeing something in a completely different light, it gives you the opportunity in that energetic space to make choices and decisions that can help create a healthier reality for yourself. It's kind of like if you're in a dead end job or a relationship or something like that, and you stay because you keep telling yourself, I want to know, fill in the blank, the reasons that we all give ourselves for staying in something that isn't good for us, even though it doesn't look like there's any chance of change, because I can't get a better job, because I don't have the skills to make more money, because, I don't want to be alone, because, whatever. The Ace of Swords comes in and gives you a big reality check. So you're in that space, you can go, okay, well, this is actually what it is. I can't fool myself anymore. So I'm going to make decisions to do this, or I'm going to make decisions to stay. It's kind of like that energy, and that's the overall focus. But for some of you, it might be, a new idea on a path that you're already on, because this looks like something you've already put some effort into, and it looks very positive. It looks like you're still early on in the path. And I think for some of you in the recent past, Pisces, there was a romantic connection or interest with someone that I think you weren't romantically involved with or hadn't been romantically involved with, but knew had some kind of connection, family history, friendship, something of that sort. Maybe your families knew each other. But you knew this person, and you were waiting for an opportunity or the knowing that, okay, now is my chance to kind of go in and see if they're interested. And for some of you, it might be that. It looks like things are progressing. It's still in the early stages, but you're feeling very good about the work that you've put into it. That's what this combination of cards means. The Three of Wands. Watching the ship come in, waiting to see what's on it. Again, we're at a 3. We're still early on in the path. You've done some work, planted some seeds, and you're starting to see your efforts pay off. You're feeling very optimistic. And what clarifies it is the Ace of Wands, which was the beginning, the start, and it's a very action-oriented, enthusiastic, assertive, aggressive even start. It's full of passion and desire and enthusiasm and exuberance. So it looks like you took a chance to start something. It's interesting, the Ace of Wands is next to the Lovers, so if this is a romantic relationship that you're just kind of starting off on, it looks like there's, it looks like there's just, you really like this person, right? There's no lack of heat there. It's Adam and Eve kind of stuff. It's really quite lovely undercurrent of passion. So for those of you for whom this is a romantic situation, you're still early on, maybe still being cautious, but you feel very good about how things are progressing, and you really, 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 really are attracted to this person. So there's an opportunity here, maybe in the last week towards or at the end of August. We have Judgment followed by that Lover's card. The last week of August might be pretty potentially significant because it's 2 major arcana cards. So Judgment represents that you have an opportunity, which usually means there's a choice, right? You have an opportunity to speak for yourself, to perhaps change the course of something, or make it better. I mean, what does it mean to be judged? We're called to account for ourselves. And what we do and say and choose will not be reversible. I mean, you can't unsay what you say. You can't unchoose a path if you've already started. There is an air of finality about judgment. It means that whatever you choose to do, to say, course of action, you're going to have to be able to live with that, because you're not going to be able to reverse it or reverse it easily. If this is a second chance at something, perhaps you didn't take the chance on before. It usually represents if you don't take that chance now, it will likely not come around again. What is this about? Well, we have the Lovers kind of clarifying that. So it's a decision that involves a relationship. Sometimes, I mean, in the early tarot decks, this wasn't called the Lovers. It was called the Choice, and it showed different depictions of a man standing in front of 2 women, I saw an early deck where a woman was standing in front of two men. The implication being that a choice had to be made. For some of you, it might be a choice between two people. It might be a choice about the relationship itself. Or it might be a decision in another aspect of your life, but that's going to have a profound effect. Like accepting a job that means you have to move and relocate. Well, that's going to affect your partnership, your marriage, etc. So, because this might not be, for some of you, I think for a lot of you, this is about the romance area of your life. But for others of you, it might be something career related, which could have a potentially significant effect on the relationship and the trajectory of the relationship, in some way. So, and again, for some of you, it might be a three-party situation. You might be choosing between two people. For those of you Pisceans who have recently cautiously kind of taken up your courage and started something, you're feeling, regardless of what the details and specifics are, Pisces, it's a general reading. Some of you it's going to be in this area of your life, some of you it's going to be in this other area of your life. But you've started something recently that you feel very passionate about, whether it's a job, a career thing, a relationship thing. You're going slowly, but you feel very good about what progress you've made. You're beginning to see your efforts pay off, beginning to see small things manifest. You feel good about the future. There's an opportunity here to make a decision. It looks like it potentially could profoundly change the trajectory of something, so you want to make the right decision. It looks like with this Ace of Swords that you have an idea. You've had kind of an epiphany, a new perspective on something. For those of you just beginning a relationship or in the early stages of that, maybe at the end of August, you're kind of thinking, okay, I have an idea on what to do next. Is now the right time? Should I wait a little bit longer? I don't want to, ruin kind of or have any setbacks. I feel good about what, I've been able to accomplish so far. Let's clarify this Three of Wands and this Ace of Wands. Well, Three of Wands. You are feeling very good about what you've done so far. The Ace in a suit is the beginning, the idea and the opportunity. And then after that is the Two, which is making a choice on, okay, I'm starting this thing, now which path do I take in order to really get things going? Here with the Three of Wands, you've made that decision and you're feeling good about it. Maybe that's just what it is. You're feeling very positive about the decision and the action you've taken so far. You have a new idea on how to proceed from here. Well, what do you feel good about? The decision you've made, the Two of Wands. So we have the Ace of Wands, the Two of Wands, and the Three of Wands. So you made this decision recently to start off on this new course of action. And you feel very positive about that decision, the path that you've chosen to get to that decision. So it's all positive. So this Judgment and the Lovers. So depending on what area of your life this is resonating in and what's going on in your own personal story, the decision, it looks like you have an idea on what to do next. You're seeing, you have kind of the big picture and you have a perspective on it, maybe some new ideas on how to proceed. But I think you're still here with Judgment and the Lovers. Okay, the decision's going to be different for all of you in a general reading, but what remains the same is that you have an idea, you have a perspective on it. So what to do with that? What decision? What is the best decision to make? What should Pisces focus on to make this decision? Because it feels like you already have an idea on what to do next. You're just not sure maybe if it's the right time, or maybe you're second guessing that Ace of Swords, This is what I see and this is what I feel, but am I right? It feels more like you might be still second guessing yourself. So advice. The High Priestess, you're right on track. The High Priestess is a card that simplistically means paying attention to your intuition and following your intuition, which is what the High Priestess does. She doesn't spend a lot of time talking. She's too busy listening internally and for messages that she gets. It's about listening to your intuition, which is the conduit to the divine. It's how we get flashes of inspiration and and random kind of pullings in certain directions that we can't really explain. It's intuitive, or things which come together which seem to be directing us in a certain direction or a certain path. Um, Coincidences. That's all divine timing and intuition. God, Spirit, your angels, and guides kind of tugging at you. And the High Priestess trusts in that. She listens to it, she opens herself up to it, and she allows that to lead her um, where she feels Spirit wants her to go, regardless of what external sources might lead her to think or say otherwise. She trusts her intuition. You already, with the Ace of Swords here, Pisces, this is your advice for the last half of August. You have an idea. Something has occurred to you. It's intuitive. You're being helped, assisted, and led in a certain direction. You may be second guessing that, oh, well, but listen to it, because you're being asked to follow that. Regardless of what ABC, XYZ, Joe, Harry, Mary down the street might be saying, you have something that's telling you, based on some insight that you've gotten, that you're getting, is telling you to do this certain thing or go in this certain direction. Trust in that and follow that, because you're being led there. Free will, you can choose not to, but you're on a good path, you're on a good trajectory, you're on the right one. Whatever this idea, this intuitive thing, choice you're leaning towards, Spirit is telling you you're on the right path, so follow that. All right, Pisces, that is your reading for the last half of August. I hope that it was helpful to you, useful to you, gave you some food for thought, especially if you're trying to make a decision and proceeding on something. Again, if you'd like to reach out for a personal reading, take a deeper look at something, feel free to email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. My earring has gone wonky. You'll also see that information by clicking on the little arrow, the description link below. Take care of yourselves, Pisces. Stay safe and well. I send you many blessings, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.